For many leaders, it is tempting to give your employees one more thing to do. There's a new initiative, a new program. You need it to be successful. You've got good people, so you'll just give people one more thing, never have a problem afterward. Well, maybe not, because sometimes giving one more thing can lead to big problems, a loss of productivity. It can become a retention problem down the road. So let's talk about it, because I know you may need to give people more work, but maybe you can approach the process in a more strategic manner. Hi, my name is Ken Okel. I am a professional speaker. I talk to audiences about improving your performance on the job. And I pull from a background that includes broadcast news, hurricane relief, and professional ballet. Now, I know, unusual combination, but in each and every field, I had to perform at a high level every day under pressure. For the first point, I want to talk to you about laundry. Come with me into my laundry room. We've just done a whole load of laundry. Everything's gone fine. I'm transferring the clothes to the dryer. Okay, see where I'm at? Dryer's running for a while, close to the end of the cycle. As I walk into the laundry room just to check things out, I notice that on the floor is a wet sock. Uh-oh, a wet sock. What should I do with that wet sock? I know there's a lot of drama right now. So what should I do with that wet sock? I decide to take that wet sock and put it in the dryer with all the other clothes that are just about dry, thinking, hey, all that dry stuff will make the wet sock dry really fast. Doesn't always work that way, because when you put the wet sock in with the dry clothes, all the clothes get more wet. The opposite of what I wanted to have happen. Eventually, all the clothes will dry, but it will take longer. Same thing can happen when you give people one more thing to do at work. That simple addition can lead to problems that can affect everything. So really think about the task that you're giving someone. Talk to people about it. Make sure there's not some sort of unintended consequence, like putting a wet sock in a dryer that's almost done. Let's also talk about addition and subtraction. Very often we think of workload in terms of adding stuff. Here's one more thing, another thing to do. Oh, you're really good at this. Could you help us with this initiative? I get it. You're busy. A lot of things you have to accomplish. Occasionally, though, can you go through workloads and see if certain things can be taken away? Subtraction. If you're going to add, is there something you can subtract? Is there some sort of procedure or program that really doesn't help that much anymore, or something that takes longer than it should? Or maybe it's just one of those things where, if we didn't do this for a week, we wouldn't miss it that much. So if that's the case, maybe you don't need to do it anymore. Examine those things where you can say, I'm going to give you something else, but I'm going to take away something else to free up some time. Could help a great deal. Speed is also important, because if you can help people work faster on certain things, they will have a little more time to deal with new things. Is there a way to speed up a process, remove some steps, make sure things are properly coordinated? If someone's having to wait for information before they can go to a next step, is that a correctable problem? Look through things and see, are there ways that you could speed up a process, make it more efficient, more effective? When you add something to someone's workload, I think it is good to have some good two-way communication. Explain why you're giving this task to this person, why you think it's important, why you think they're the right person for the job. I'm not saying that this is a time to argue, but both sides, the employee and the supervisor, they need to be on the same page. It is possible that the employee realizes, this task is going to be really complicated. It's going to take a lot of time and my overall work is going to suffer, but I'm being told to do it, so I'd better do it. You understand, people may feel like that they can't speak up and raise that concern. The supervisor might have been really interested to get that feedback, to hear that concern. They might have been able to adjust things to prevent a negative situation. What I'm getting at is, you don't find these things out if you don't have a conversation. It's entirely possible that you are having to add something to someone's workload and there is nothing you can do about the other stuff. That person's just going to be busy. Nothing you can do. Part of the job. I think most people will accept that, but they really will appreciate if you have talked to them, if you have listened to your concerns. People like to be heard. They like to know that their concerns are heard. Doesn't mean you can act on them all, but if you're known as a supervisor who listens, I think that can help a great deal. Another thing you can do in that two-way communication time, ask the person, what is something about your job that takes up more time than you think it should, or more time than is warranted? Because that may reveal some tasks that, okay, we don't need to do that anymore, or that hasn't really been important since the 1980s, so let's stop doing that. Or perhaps that's a good task to pass on to another staff member, maybe even an intern, maybe you outsource it entirely. In organizations, not everyone understands how long certain things take to accomplish. They may assume you get it done through some sort of magic. It's okay if people are magical performers on the job. Don't just think that the employee will just wave a magic wand and then all of a sudden, all the problems will go away. I know it is a challenging time. You may have to ask people to do more than ever before. That can cause a little bit of stress, a little bit of tension. But I think if you can talk things through and approach the situation strategically, you'll have a much better outcome. You'll also boost your productivity. For more about me, my name is Ken Okel. I'm a professional speaker. As I mentioned, find out more about me. Go to my website, kenokel.com, just like my name. Want to shoot me an email? tvguy@kenokel.com. Now, what's the deal with that? Well, years ago when I worked in TV news, you'd be out in the public at a restaurant or a grocery store. Someone would recognize you and they would want to say hi, but they wouldn't remember your name. So they would just yell out something like, "Hey, TV guy." I also encourage you to connect with me on some of the social channels like the ones you see below. They're under my name. On LinkedIn, I do ask if you send me a connection request, add a note and just mention where we encountered one another. If it was at a live presentation, if it was at a virtual presentation like this, just give me an idea. That helps me separate those who I really want to be connected to versus those who may just want to give me a bunch of sales pitches. Those folks I am not as interested in getting to know. I hope these tips have been useful. I know it can be hard to adjust workloads, approach it strategically, and I think you'll have a much improved outcome. I'm Ken Okel. Take care.